Coming up, the third annual TIMA Forum in Taiwan kicks off at the Jing Si Hall in Hualien. The Tzu Chi Foundation signs MOUs with 2 different schools in Thailand and a hospital in Cambodia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. The third annual TIMA Forum in Taiwan was recently held in Hualien. Over the 2 days, more than 134 attendees from across the country exchanged their free clinic outreach experiences as well as views on a holistic approach to medical care, hoping to find ways to better serve patients in the future.
More than 130 medical professionals from different areas in Taiwan attended the 2015 TIMA Forum over the weekend. The theme of this year's forum was about providing medical services in remote areas. And with TIMA close to celebrating its 20th anniversary, attendees took time to exchange their experiences in various medical outreach programs.
As poor people cannot come out, the helpful ones must approach them. I agree with this phrase. After attending many free clinics, I've seen that many poor and sick people really have difficulties reaching out for help. They really need a group of people who continuously care for them.
How can we bring the medical services in a hospital to remote villages so people there can receive the same kind of service? I think it is our responsibility to achieve this.
At their free clinic held in Ruifang, district volunteers chatted with a 90-year-old grandmother and also comforted a woman who cares for her bedridden husband. Among the volunteers, pharmacist Wu Luxuan said that after joining TIMA, she has learned to treat patients like her own family.
她是走到病人的家里，所以
TIMA members go into the patients' homes so they see their living conditions. They will know what their real needs are.
生活的那个形态，你才知道他真正的需要在哪里。
While many medical professionals aspire to provide services with compassion, attending the TIMA Forum has helped unite their efforts. In addition to exchanging medical outreach experiences, the forum's attendees also discuss holistic health care.
I think we care about finding ways to bridge the gap between medical services in big cities and remote areas. How do we achieve a holistic approach to medical care is another topic of concern.
Besides serving patients in Taiwan, TIMA has also expanded its services to people in different countries.
Tzu Chi has its medical association, TIMA. Besides the 6 Tzu Chi hospitals in Taiwan, there are TIMA branches in more than 30 countries, and we've provided free clinic services in about 50 countries.
On the second day of the forum, attendees went to Jing Si abode to help out with recycling work.
I'm very touched to come to the abode and see that everyone is recycling carefully. They recycle even small pieces of plastic bag. They do a really thorough job.
There are ways to put on duvet covers. It looks simple, but people have to pay attention to the details to do a good job, just like in medical practice.
I think it's the same principle. If you pay attention to details, things will be well done. In caring for patients, if you notice the details, you will be able to grasp the right approach.
Over the course of the 2-day forum, attendees learned from each other and left inspired to better serve their patients with joy and love.
In Malaysia, we meet a 15-year-old girl who suffers from a tumor that affects the pituitary gland. The family sought medical treatment in the country to no avail. Arriving in Taiwan's Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital as a last resort, the trip and treatment plunged the family into financial difficulties. To help, the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Social Services has provided subsidies and alerted Kota Kinabalu Tzu Chi volunteers to follow up with the family. Here's our in-depth report.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
我许愿我快点好起来。
I hope I can get better soon and that my sickness does not come back. I want to run and not be helped while walking.
Getting healthy is still Joshua's wish every year. She looks about 8, however. Actually, she is celebrating her 15th birthday this year. In 2008, Joshua was found to have craniopharyngioma, a tumor that affects the pituitary gland.
I couldn't accept it. I knew it is going to be a difficult path ahead of us. Every time she goes into surgery, I pray to the Buddha to safely return her to me. I will not give up on her for as long as she is still breathing.
In the past 8 years, Joshua has had 11 different surgeries. However, her condition has not improved.
Her condition goes from good to bad. When I was going to Taiwan, my mother asked me, if you take her to Taiwan, will she be cured? I said, if there's an ounce of hope, why not try?
Under a friend's referral, in February of 2015, the couple visited the Tzu Chi Hospital with their daughter to seek medical assistance, despite the strain it would put on their finances.
To save her life. No matter, we can still try to the best of our ability. Money can always be earned by working.
Learning of the family's financial difficulty, the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Social Services helped provide medical fee subsidies and also contacted the volunteers from Kota Kinabalu to follow up with the family.
When we were in Taiwan, the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters visited us every day. We're very happy to have received their care. It's very rare for us to feel so much love.
We will continue our love and care because they will be going to the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital again in May. When they come back, we'll establish a case file for them. We want the little girl to know that there are many people in this world who care for her.
In January, Conjoined Twins Jenny Lin and Geraldine traveled from the Philippines to Hualien County, Taiwan to receive a separation surgery. After 3 months of intensive treatment and rehabilitation, the sisters who were connected around the liver returned to the Philippines as separate girls. As the sisters arrived in the Philippines, local media and Taiwan's ambassador welcomed the twins at the airport. Regarding the successful surgery of the twins, a press conference was held. Let's now join the conference to learn how Tzu Chi has given the sisters a new life.
After returning to the Philippines, twins Jenny Lin and Geraldine have received a lot of public attention.
Pareho po kami nakaginhawa. Kasi po sila magkadikit, tapos naoperahan po sila kaya...
The burden on my husband and my shoulders has been reduced. It is easier now because I can set them down and rest for a while. Seeing my daughters run around freely, I'm truly grateful to Master Cheng
Sila
Yin.
laro ng laro kaya sobra pong nagpapasalamat po ako kay unang-una po kay Sangren.
My daughters can now live normally after the separation. I'm very grateful to those who have helped us.
Tzu Chi volunteer Conchita Tan, who stayed with the twins, was even more emotional than the twins' parents after learning of the successful surgery.
Ang pakiramdam ko fulfillment po.
As a Tzu Chi volunteer, I am glad to have successfully carried out this mission. After learning of the successful surgery, I was happy beyond words.
For the Tzu Chi medical team, This was the third successful surgical separation of conjoined twins since 2003. The press conference in the Philippines saw 64 reporters from 29 media outlets.
Seldom do we find stories that you would see people helping one another, kasi usually stories right now would be all about crime, poverty, politics. So it's really nice and special.
Word of the incredible techniques of the medical team and their unconditional love has continued to spread throughout the Philippines. It has been 3 months since Jason saw last how his daughters, and now Jenny Lynn and Geraldine, can walk freely as individuals.
It is a miracle to see them separated. I'm grateful to everyone, especially Master Zheng Yan.
The successful surgery and miracle of life that it gave the twins drew the attention of local media outlets as well as Taiwan's representative to the Philippines.
We came here to welcome the twins. We followed their story and we are very grateful to Tzu Chi.
Nilikha po sila ng Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation po na
Tzu Chi has been offering assistance to poor people like us. The volunteers are always by our side during hard times.
For the past 3 months, Tzu Chi volunteers have supported and cared for Jenny Lynn and Geraldine in every way. The successful surgery has not only given the sister a new life, but also given their family a brighter future.
Indonesia's West Java, Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members hosted a free health check for local residents in Bogor, Sipingnon. Meanwhile, in Taiwan's Tainan, working with a non-profit organization to help the homeless, TIMA members and Tzu Chi volunteers held a free clinic. During the event, a homeless woman brought Tzu Chi volunteers to see where she sleeps, and upon arriving there, the volunteers found a homeless man in need of medical attention.
Paying their homeless friends in Tainan a visit, Tzu Chi volunteers soon discover someone who needs medical attention for the wounds on his feet.
He has multiple wounds on his left foot that didn't heal due to diabetes. Inside one of the wounds, we found a foreign object. Upon removal, we discovered it was a large rock.
Working with a local nonprofit organization to help the homeless, Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members are hosting a free clinic to safeguard the health of those sometimes forgotten by society.
It's so wonderful. Thank you for taking such good care of us.
Everyone has been so nice to us, helping us old people.
Tzu Chi volunteers use their compassion to warm the hearts of the less fortunate, and seeing the smiles on the recipients' faces is the greatest reward of all. Moving to Indonesia, local TIMA members and Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a free clinic at a local temple in Bogor's Cibinong to safeguard the health of seniors in and around this area.
Residents here suffer from degenerative diseases, including diabetes, high blood pressure, and high levels of uric acid. Sometimes we also find tumors.
More importantly, TIMA members also take the time to answer any questions that patients may have.
Tzu Chi holds free clinics on a regular basis. The blood pressure and cholesterol checks are very thorough.
They're very friendly and carefully explained everything.
During the free clinic, the 17 medical staff members saw a total of 27 patients. Though the medical staff were the ones giving, in fact, it was they who gained the most from the experience.
In our next report, we travel to the Tzu Chi grounds in Taipei, Taiwan to meet 81-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer Gao A-Ye. More than 2 decades ago, Gao was inspired to practice recycling to safeguard the planet. Despite being illiterate with determination, the senior has learned ways to distinguish the difference between the different types of plastic bags.
This is PVC and this is garbage. This is a PP plastic bag that people normally use to store new clothes. Colored plastic bags need to be put in this bag. This bag is for storing white polypropylene sheets.
Despite the complicated recycling process, Tzu Chi volunteer Gao A-Ye is able to sort all the discarded plastic bags into the right categories.
When she was still a Tzu Chi member, I often invited her to participate in Tzu Chi activities, such as volunteer training seminars. Gao always takes the initiative in shouldering responsibility. Whenever there is an event, people always like to ask Gao to assist them.
Whenever someone asks her to help, she always says yes. Gao never says no to anyone. When the Tzu Chi brothers ask her if she wants to join them in picking up recyclables, she'll happily say okay and go with them.
Treating the Tzu Chi grounds as her second home, Gao A-Ye takes advantage of any opportunity to volunteer. Touched by Gao's selfless dedication, her counterparts have given her the nickname Mother.
Thank
81-year-old Gao A-Ye says her secret to longevity is volunteering on behalf of Tzu Chi. In the aftermath of the 9/11 earthquake in 1999, Gao started collecting donations from kind-hearted people on behalf of Tzu Chi. Today, Gao has already used a total of 11 donor rosters.
I don't recognize the word in the middle. This character looks like one of the words in my daughter's name. I think it is pronounced as Ling. This person's last name is Lin. When people give me their address and name, I will ask my daughter to copy them down for me. I will count the donated amount from my Tzu Chi members on my own.
Despite being illiterate, Gao has come up with a way to remember all her Tzu Chi members by using simple Chinese characters to represent each donor and the amount they donated.
This one is my grandson and his 5 family members. This is my neighbor, his daughter, and son-in-law. Yes, before I had to hand out a whole stack of receipts. I remember this one is for my neighbor and that one is for my hiking partner. It is truly amazing that I can hand out all the receipts correctly even though I am illiterate.
Putting her trust in Master Zheng Yan has helped Gao walk steadfast on the Tzu Chi path for the past 2 decades. In spite of the recent controversy surrounding Tzu Chi, Gao has no trouble facing those who doubt the organization.
I told my members that they need to trust Master Zheng Yan. All the money donated to the organization is put towards the mission specified by each member. I told some that it's okay if they don't want to donate to Tzu Chi anymore, but they need to make sure if that is what they really want.
Instead of enjoying her golden years at home, 81-year-old Gao A-Ye is dedicating herself wholeheartedly to a cause that is benefiting others and society in general. Priya Angdun Hospital in the Cambodian capital of Phnom Penh has signed an MOU with the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital to strengthen the collaboration between the 2 hospitals. Also, the Tainan Tzu Chi Senior High School has signed MOUs with both the Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School and the Rose Garden College in Bangkok. At the Tzu Chi School in Chiang Mai, Thailand, visiting faculty from Tainan Tzu Chi Senior High School who are here to sign an MOU receive a warm welcome.
Both the Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School and the Tainan Tzu Chi High School realize the importance of collaborating with each other, and thus we are signing this MOU to help broaden the horizon of our students together.
The Suankula Wittayalai School in Bangkok also hopes to impart Tzu Chi's etiquette and character to its students, and thus has asked to sign an MOU with the Tainan Tzu Chi Senior High School as well.
With this MOU between our schools, we hope to cultivate moral and well-rounded students. Combining the wisdom of our two schools, we hope to have a positive influence on society. I believe today's signing of the MOU marks an important first step in promoting proper moral values in society.
Also signing an MOU with Tzu Chi was the Priyan Angdun Hospital, a public hospital in the Cambodian capital of Phnom Penh. The hospital hopes to collaborate with the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital in the future.
We hope that through Priyan Angdun Hospital, we may provide Cambodians with the medical assistance they need.
It is thanks to Dr. Chen Jieshun of the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, who was born in Cambodia, that the two sides have decided to team up.
In Cambodia, some patients who are seriously ill may not be able to afford treatment or may need to transfer to Vietnam or Singapore. So I thought perhaps I can do something to help locally so that citizens will not have to go out of their way to receive proper treatment.
The visitors from Cambodia also took a tour of the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital to learn how Tzu Chi incorporates its values into its medical practices.
I'm deeply impressed by how the hospital is managed. It certainly meets all international standards, and the way surgeries are carried out is impressive as well.
In the future, the Priya Angdun Hospital will not only be able to better provide for its patients, but also become a center of love to bring warmth to those in need. As Taiwan faces water shortages, saving water has become an important consideration for all. Teachers at Tzu Chi Kindergarten in Butterworth, Malaysia, recently asked students use water sparingly and learn to cherish water. While in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, Guangwu Elementary School invited DaAi mothers to teach children about how going meatless can save water. Let's take a look.
As Guangwu Elementary School celebrates its anniversary, DaAi mothers went on campus to teach children about the benefits of eating vegetables. DaAi mothers also seized the chance to promote ways to save water, and the students learned fast.
If you raise cows, they need to drink water and eat grass, so raising cows wastes much water. If we eat vegetarian food, we would not need as much water.
The children wrote down their hopes regarding their new vegetarian diet, while one volunteer talked about how her family saves water.
When my daughter washes her hands at home, she saves the water with a water basin. She also asks her father and brother to save water.
In teaching the children to cherish resources, the teachers' and volunteers' efforts are crucial. In addition, the support of the students' family is also necessary. While in Butterworth, Malaysia, children are left breathless from fetching water.
We kept talking about it in class, but we don't know how much students learned. Let them experience it, then they will know how to save water. Use water sparingly, okay?
This is a tough challenge for the kids. They can only use one bucket of water for the entire day.
Saving water is a good habit. We need to learn good habits when young.
The kindergarten planned activities for children to experience the inconvenience of water shortages. Through today's lesson, the teachers hope their students will all learn to cherish water.
We go to New York City, the United States, at the end of the show, where Tzu Chi volunteers handed out cash cards and blankets to 27 residents affected by last month's gas-related explosion in Manhattan's East Village. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.